and a major city yet to be determined in Russia. And a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
Utah shaming is a Utah pastime.
And a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
Utah shaming is a Utah pastime.
Travis, what are you doing? Why are you doing this video on this day of all days and so early in the morning when government intelligence officers in DC are not going to hear this until later on today when they come into work? Yeah, it's not some coincidence, is it? Wouldn't happen to do with any video that was posted yesterday, would it? Yep. Yes, it would. Because certain intelligence departments might just get an email this morning when they get into work, and it might lead to them checking out such certain video from yesterday, and if they happen to do that, they might check out this video as it's posted this morning. And why would I do that? I'm trying to save America. What the hell are you guys doing? But let me remind you of this threat that America faces.
And a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
Utah shaming is a Utah pastime.
And a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
Utah shaming is a Utah pastime.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. I hope you guys remember to report on your local ward for water violations yesterday. Cannot allow the church to be beyond equality with the rest of us. And the government of Utah is punishing you guys and letting the church go free. And you're okay with that. When your water gets shut down, you're going to be okay with the church continuing to run its water. You're going to be okay with that? Okay. So this is a video segment to a video I've got planned for this morning. So I'm not sure where this is going to be placed in this video. So here's this morning's water shaming complaint. I say nothing was done to shame the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints with their blatant disregard for this water crisis that our Mormon governor is shaming Utahns for. How much is in that rainy day savings for the state of Utah? What constitutes a rainy day emergency? We now know it is not coronavirus under the previous Mormon governor. I'm sure there is no conflict of interest, like, say, the governor being Mormon, and therefore doesn't consider the church equally under the law or his acts. What does the symbolism of the Eagle Gate on State Street at Temple Square pointing directly at the state capitol mean? Again? 3 question marks. That same falling star is on the keystone of the Salt Lake Temple. I'm sure Governor Cox's statement of "make yellow lawns great again" was not coded support for MAGA terrorists trying to overthrow America so that the church will restore their Bergamite kingdom once again. Do you now see where we're headed with this video? If I put this at the beginning? I'm sure the title will also be a clue.
And a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
Utah shaming is a Utah pastime.
And a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
Utah shaming is a Utah pastime.
So do you see it? I do. I do. That city yet to be determined in Russia is the Salt Lake Temple at Temple Square, when Russia conquers America, for which the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has paid Russia to do such activities with your tithing. Remember when the Jews, the white supremacists, they have this slogan, Jews will not replace us. Well, yeah, my neighbors during the 2016 election were spreading the advertisement of I'd rather be Russian than vote for a Democrat. Remember that? Where did that come from? Who sent such advertising? Through Facebook, of whom Facebook stole our data, gave it to Cambridge Analytica, who sold it to Russia, who then in turn purchased ads tailored to the data that was provided them. So if you were a Democrat, you were told to call a number to vote. If you're a Republican, you got the slogan, I'd rather be Russian than vote Democrat. Who was that group again? Who was that nation? Yes, it was Russia. Russia is trying to replace us. They're trying to destroy America. This is why they're attacking. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has made a deal with Russia. Should I repeat the common theme here in between video segments? Have you caught on yet? When Nelson announced a temple in Russia, he announced he gave up the church to Russia. That he is betraying America, that he is replacing us with Russians. And you notice that in June of 2018, when he had his first youth fireside devotional, told the youth they were now the Nazi Youth Battalion for Mormons. Guess what Sister Nelson revealed to us? That they were in Russia in 2013. I'm sure they weren't monitored by Russia, that there isn't a P-tape. That would be gross. Why would Russia do such a thing? He's the leader of our church, and soon to be the head of the church. Why would Russia do such a thing? And especially after the 2012 election in Russia, where Putin blamed America and Mitt Romney for tampering in his election, where he wanted revenge on America. And I'm sure not the church that Romney belonged to. Are you familiar with Q? Yeah, Star Trek guy. No, the nutcases that are going around spreading that the deep state Dems are from outer space, satanic, and pedophiles. This came from Russia. Gee, where's all this coming from, Russia? Why such hostility towards America? Yeah, well, guess what? The church, Kolob, inverted pentagram on the keystone of the Salt Lake Temple, Boy Scouts, over 3,000. Dear God. Worse than the Catholic Church. So yeah, this is how Russia reminds the church that they can turn the MAGA Qs on the church anytime they want. So when is this all going to take place? Well, it's happening right now. Have you not caught on? Everything Nelson has done at the behest of Putin. This is why he took away the high priest group, bumped them down into the elders' quorum. And so those high priests are going to be grandfathered out of the church. You can't become a high priest unless you become a leader. There is no group anymore. Home teaching, done away with. No line of communication during emergencies or crises. Sure would have been helpful during the coronavirus, prophesied or known through intel in Doctrine and Covenants, section 45, verse 31. And even with this water crisis, the church is sitting on trillions of dollars, and they claim it's for a rainy day. The government also claims rainy day for their $1 billion in savings. Pathetic in comparison with the church, huh? That's because I don't think governments are allowed to invest in the stock market. They can only have it in savings. So yeah, if you're not making the connection, they're purposely torturing us, murdering us, making life miserable, not elevated. Misery elevated, not life elevated. Because we're no longer the greatest snow on earth. Notice how he changed that under Governor Herbert? Changed it? No longer greatest snow on earth, it's now life elevated. Huh. I wonder why he would not call us the greatest snow on earth. Could it be that he knew in advance that he was purposely causing this? Well, sure enough, such is the case. Because they could have spent their money on investing in water plants, storages for water. We're a desert, after all. The governor has science advisors who advised him, hey, the earth is heating up. We're not getting as much snow. We're no longer the greatest snow on earth. This is going to get worse if we keep this up. And yet, it appears he ignored his science advisors. Why would he do that? Why would a Mormon governor ignore science and help the church? Why would Senator Orrin Hatch pushed through the tax bill at the end of 2017, just in time for 2018, when Monson dies. You familiar with the 32 billion scandal? Oh, you're not? Let me show you.
Through federal filings, we confirmed the numbers on 12 funds, each with more than one web domain owned by the LDS Church. The funds control about $31.9 billion in investments.
And a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
Utah shaming is a Utah pastime.
And a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
Utah shaming is a Utah pastime.
So as you can see, all these years I've been doing all these videos, doing all these reportings, and nobody believed me. They got $6 billion off of your deaths, suffering, and misery last year. Church didn't suffer, you did. With your tithing, the church made $6 billion. You suffered, the church prospered. Church is righteous because they prospered. You are wicked because you didn't prosper. You are punished for your wickedness. That's contrary to the Book of Mormon, isn't it? But that's how the church sees it. They played you for chumps, suckers and losers. All this is in preparation for 8 April 2024. Well, why then? Well, that's the total solar eclipse that crosses America, canceling America with the New World Order under Russia. Yep, that's the whole purpose. Putin's not just toying with America. He's not just going to destroy America and let it sit in ruin. He plans on conquering and moving Russia in. He also plans on taking over Europe, in case you didn't know. He's moved all his people in position. That one's going to be the physical war. With America, nah. He'll just destroy us. And guess who's going to welcome Russia in? The Lost 10 Tribes! Oh my God! Yeah, that's what Sister Nelson talked about as she exposed that Nelson was already compromised back in 2013. She went and talked to the youth and asked them what their patriarchal blessing lineage is. There were all of the 10 tribes. Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, it's so precious and few are the moments we two can share. Yeah, the Lost 10 Tribes in the north, Russia, and they're coming to Zion. Yeah, in case you hadn't heard, we're not going back to Missouri. We weren't supposed to go to Missouri anyway. 19 July 1840. Joseph Smith said, most of you think that we're going back to Missouri. No, you're wrong. We have to build the mountain cities of Zion and New Jerusalem before the Christ comes. When is the Christ coming? Oh, the sign of his birth. Not his birth, the sign of his birth. 2017. Right there in the beginning of the Book of Mormon, which got it from Revelation chapter 12. Notice the Joseph Smith translation moves verse 5 to verse 3, which makes it part of the sign. And then go back and read 1 Nephi, Lehi's dream. Oh, God's sitting on his throne. That's the verse that is moved to be with the sign of the birth. And so there you have Revelation 19, 11 and 17. Also with that dream sign. So he sees the latter day time period, 2017 to 2024. But Travis, the Book of Mormon is real history of the ancient indigenous people of America. So what if the Doctrine and Covenants was encoded? That doesn't mean that the Book of Mormon is also encoded, even though Sidney Rigdon is the major author of the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith Sr. is the one who had to replace the 116 pages that Junior couldn't do his one simple job to distract the money man from. And got him destroyed, so that he then had to be moved from Harmony to the old Harmony that was no longer called Harmony in Susquehanna River. Nope, has nothing whatsoever to do with William Morgan, who fought in the Battle of 1812 when the White House was burned and the Capitol stormed. If you remember, January 6th was to remind you of that event. Wonder why that event? Why Russia? Strange. It's not like the Book of Mormon knew by saying 600 years from the time Lehi left Jerusalem, a certain person would not be born. Yeah, Jesus Christ, as we know it and understand him today, was created by Constantine. Everybody knows it except for Christians and Mormons. Constantine created Jesus. Created the name Hamuzius. Did not exist before Constantine. And so, if the scriptures were indeed written before Constantine, guess what? It's not Constantine's Jesus. And, as we know, there was no successful Christ to save the Jews from the Romans. They all were destroyed. They all failed. Plus the sign doesn't correspond with the Roman period. You can't find it anywhere there. But on 8 April 4 AD, 600 years from the time of the first year of the reign of King Zedekiah, we have a sign in the heavens, a total solar eclipse. And where is it? Russia. Yep, that's what the Book of Mormon was warning us about, that they were purposely going to set things in motion to make Russia the one who causes World War III. From Albert Pike's little thingy to Giuseppe Mazzini. Yep, that's where the switch happened. So it's interesting that Lincoln was Republican, but he's not of the platform of the current Republicans. It's more of the liberal platform. Strange. What happened? When was this switch? And Joseph McCarthy, as I already was searching for him, had to verify. It was just after World War II. We had defeated Nazi Germany. You know, the Jews will not get replaced by Nazis. It was a tough one because we had a whole bunch of KKK in our Congress who thought that the Nazis were their kind of guys. The church. Moroni and the swastika. Yeah. Nazis are our kind of people. Oh, we have to obey the laws of the land. Sorry, Germans. Don't you dare free those Jews. We'll punish you. And so then afterward, Joseph McCarthy, Republican senator of the new Republicans that are now taking the stand of Nazis over communism and caused the Red Scare. And so there was a whole bunch of blacklisting going on. Hollywood got shamed because Disney wasn't communist. He was Nazi. Everybody knows that. Why are they going after Disney? The Family Guy. Oh my God. The episode about Disney. Oh my God. I was like, oh, this is hilarious. They're mocking Disney with cutesy, fluffy, funny stuff. And then all of a sudden, somebody knocks at the door. Oh my God. Very shocking. Oh dear God. Yeah, and so Nixon was the one who turned the elephant star upside down to show that they had conquered. That's what it means. That's what the Eagle Gate means, guys. You have the eagle on top of the beehive, which means the eagle conquered the beehive because it's on top, and then there's the inverted pentagram. That's all part of that symbol. It's the Illuminati symbol. I've gone over the church history of Brigham and Heber C. Kimball. If you don't understand, Heber C. Kimball claimed that he went to Joseph Smith and Joseph Smith approved him for a Royal Ark Mason in New York rites of the Knights Templar with the Egyptian gold treasure plates buried in the ground like a voice from the dust. And you still thought it was a real history of the ancient indigenous people of America, not a code, which the Knights Templar were also familiar with and used the rune language script with their little special alterations to identify them. And thus the Kensington Stone is Knights Templar because it has those additional extra things and gave us the date of 1363 and is a land ownership deal. X marks the spot is for Zion, not for the destruction of America. Except for Brigham and Heber were part of that group that wanted to destroy America. Captain William Morgan exposed them. Wasn't able to publish his book, so Joseph Smith Sr. took over, made sure it got published. So Joseph Jr. His kid dies, He gets kicked out of the Methodists for being a glass looker. Has to leave Harmony. Dad! Get out of here. Go to Susquehanna. Get out of my sight. I'll do this myself if you want anything done right. You've lost your gift of translation. But Dad! That's why Section 3 and Section 10 were written. The Lord is not the Lord. It's the Lord of the house. And so, yeah, 20 years ago, from 2024, was the total solar eclipse over Russia. And so there you have the 2017 in the Book of Mormon is when Russia, not Babylon, puts Trump, not Zedekiah, on the throne of America, not Jerusalem. It's coded. And so Samuel Elamanite. Oh, signs of his birth and death? Oh, the death sign is 8 April 2024. An eclipse, solar eclipse. Huh. And 2020 years later, from the one of Russia? Huh. Book of Mormon was warning us. They sacrificed their lives to warn us. And Mormons would rather be Russian than Mormon. And so what is being planned? Well, Salt Lake Temple is the Zion Temple. There will be no temple in Missouri or in Illinois. Temple Square is Zion. Nelson told us that Temple Square is where the place of gathering will be in the latter days, and they've got to prepare everything for that day, 2024, because what's going on the 6th and the 7th of April 2024? Oh, conference. Oh, I wonder what will happen. Well, they're planning on rededicating the Salt Lake Temple on the 6th. Guess what else they've planned that I did the video of just the other week? Yeah, Friday. Came out, was announced. Oh, we're moving the idol god Jesus, who didn't exist, was created by Constantine, to a undisclosed special location to be revealed after we get everything all restored. Yeah. So also for Saturday conference. Isn't that great? I'm sure it will have nothing to do with a cover for the actual Jesus coming, whom nobody will be able to see because of his immense glory. Only the righteous can see him. The cameras will, certainly not be able to catch him on camera because he's so powerful. So Nelson will have to take over and speak on his behalf. He'll have to translate. Nelson will then be the theocratic king, at least tributary to Russia. But Russia, if you're listening, I hope you understand that the church thinks they're going to outsmart you. And Russia is going, yeah, well, we're planning on outsmarting the church. That's what criminals do. They betray each other when they no longer need the other. And so yes, you're going to have the church thinking they're going to outsmart Russia and become the sole leaders and Russia thinks they're going to outsmart the church. Let them pretend to have their little kingdom and bring the Russians in. And then when they no longer need them, they'll destroy the church and Russia will take over. That ought to be a fun day. Assuming, of course, those certain intelligence groups do not listen to this video. Do their job to save America. So, yeah, Lucifer will be established as God. And the first vision will be Lucifer instead of Jesus with Heavenly Father. There will be no plates, no Moroni, who is supposed to be Nephi, no Book of Mormon, no scriptures, because they're coded. They reveal what the church was up to. Can't have those existing, can we? Somebody might find out. Yeah, you have to destroy the document trail. You have to destroy the financial trail. Because it might expose you and get you in trouble someday. Right, Intelligence Committee people or department people who are listening to this video? Contact will only be through streaming service. The Church State TV. All church, all the time. Yeah, it's whatever they want you to know. And it'll be gross and disgusting. 1984. And, let's see. Yeah, only the church leaders will get special privileges because they're going to use the Book of Mormon philosophy for Zion's economy, but twist it a little bit. Instead of laboring for Zion, it's going to be a slave for Zion rather than slaving for money. You won't get any money. You'll get a subsistence to live. You'll be in impoverished conditions because you're wicked, remember? That's why you're a slave. You're not a leader. You're not righteous. Who will get paid? They want to keep the money that they've gotten, over trillions of dollars. Why would they just give it all away to go to a non-monetary system of economy? So yes, the church will still be making money, but the slaves won't. And so school will only be for the leaders' kids so that they can be educated on how to run the kingdom of doom. And so the slave class will just be put into slave labor as children. Child slave labor. Isn't that great? Don't forget polygamy, where women are property. Yeah, you thought it was just obeying your husband. What do you think that means? It means you're property. It's still in the temple. That's what YouTube shut me down for on TWG for 2 weeks. Because I exposed that. And of course the death penalty will come back if you protest or if you get divorced. And then, let's see. Yeah, 10 lost tribes will come and replace those of us who have died or kicked out with an exodus. America has to be conquered by then so that Utah can become Zion. And so yeah, the church history will be rewritten. No scriptures. Everything that you need to know will be given over the church internet system. Isn't that great? Mormons will be replaced with Russians. What else have I got here? Oh yeah, you'll still be forced to pay tithing as a slave. I'm not sure how that's going to work. If you're not getting any money, Maybe they will have money, it just will be slave earnings, and so you'll still be forced, because it'll be deducted from your paychecks. So we'll have to see about that. Because they've got to get it, well, they're already getting slave labor, so there's really no need for tithing, because they have to pull off that we're now under the law of consecration. So no more tithing. Thus the slave labor part. That's most likely what it is. So there probably won't be tithing. And so yeah, the lost 10 tribes, they're prophesied to come to Zion. And if Zion's not Missouri, they got to come to Utah. And that's what Nelson said. We're preparing this for the gathering of the 10 tribes. This is the gathering place. And who are those 10 tribes? From the north. Russia. You guys knew this was coming if you've been paying attention to all my videos. So, yeah, we're getting replaced. That's why we're being tortured. Governor Cox is Mormon. Governor Herbert was Mormon. They were doing the will and bidding of the church. That's why the Eagle Gate says that the Utah capital is under the church's control. They own the federal government in Utah. That's why nobody can sue the church. Gaddy versus COP, yeah, she's being played as a chump. They're taking her down a rabbit hole. They wouldn't even let me file. They immediately had it dismissed. Nope, dismissed. You don't get to have your First Amendment rights, Travis. Church is untouchable. But I put Holland in the hospital. The legal counsel had to wait until his video conference with the rabbi that morning ended to inform him of what I had just dropped the bombshell in the courts that morning. And 2 weeks later, we find out that's what happened. And when I exposed the polygamy that Nelson had made the change in the law of chastity, again, he came out with a first presidency statement. You. You guys just are not getting it. The video about abolishing the Book of Mormon that I did before conference that became a breakout video, that was because the church prophets looked at that video and forgot to sign out. They are watching what I say. They're not watching what John DeLynn says. They're not watching what Exmo Lex says. They're not watching what Thinker of Thought says. They don't care what they say. They're watching what I say. They know I'm the threat that will expose them. That is exposing them. But wait, oh, YouTube. Right, that video I did yesterday. The church had me on their radar since 1998. They created a troublemaker file because Joseph Smith is a translator. Isn't that great? Church is so true. Yeah, no, he's not a translator according to the church. Little did I know. So the church has ordered and paid for my assassination, which, thank God, has failed so far. But I was sent to the emergency room. So, alrighty. What's it going to take, Mormons? What's it going to take?
Utah shaming is a Utah pastime.